Lakota, a native civilization with deep roots in the community, characterized by its lack of houses and supersonic cavalry with devastating siege. With the recent overhaul, I think it's only right to ask the question, is this Civ OP, bro? Let's find out. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lakota Infantry Rush with Eco. Now, I've got to say, this is with Eco, so I hope you guys enjoy this. We're going to be breaking it down. We're not going to be looking at the entirety of this game. We're going to be breaking it down into nice little chunks for you so you get the gist of this strategy and you guys can give it a go. The minute you finish watching this video, jump into a game and give this a go because it is really, really fun as hell. And I've got to say, I think this is the strongest rush in the game at the moment. I said before that Howd, that's got to be the strongest. But after playing this with the recent change to Lakota, I think this could take the biscuit. So what you're going to be doing first is you're going to be building a TP. Before that, of course, you want to gather up your resource crates and you're going to be wanting to build a TP and a TP. When I mean TP, I mean a trading post, of course. So make sure we make that distinction. Build a trading post and a TP, and of course you're going to need wood for that. Just make sure that you macro enough wood. The TP is 50 wood and the trade post is 200, so you're going to have to chop an extra 50 wood. Maintain your hunts, just make sure you're on that. You can see here that Lucas here has left his coin because he doesn't need it. It's up to you if you want to go to that sort of level, but just remember to collect your crates, build your trade post, build your TP, chop your 50 wood, and herd until you are ready to age up. Now, whilst you are gathering that food, your explorer is absolutely amazing. His mobility is insane, 7.76 movement speed, so make sure you utilize that and get a full scout of the map. Any sort of treasures such as wood and food will be very valuable. Food enabling you to age up really quickly, and wood to help you with the transition when you're going to be getting your units out in Age 2. Now, the first card that we are going to be going for is the 3 Villager card, just to get your eco going. That is going to be the first card from your deck. Now, when you've got the 800 food and you're on for your age up, you're going to be using the Chief Age Up. Now, this is kind of interesting. A lot of people would say, Widgie, what the hell are you doing? Let's go for the fast age up. But we're going to be going for the Chief Age Up, which enables you to get a war hut out when you hit that age. And in transition, you can see here, majority of vills are going to be moving over to wood. Whilst in transition, it's really handy with the wood that you're gathering to go ahead and build a marketplace so that you can at least get hunting dogs as a economical upgrade. As I mentioned at the start of the video, guys, this is a rush. It is an infantry rush, but we need to have that economy behind us. So whilst you're in transition from age 1 to 2, get that market down, get the hunting dogs down, and you'll be good to go. Now, when you've aged up, you'll see you will have the 400 wood at your base. So you're going to be gathering that up straight away. You can see that we've still got villagers on food. We are ready to immediately start creating infantry units. And you can see here that Lucas actually builds the war hut in a defensive position here. Now, there's many options. You can put a couple of vills to a forward position and you can build one right in the middle of the map, for example. But Lucas has chosen just to play a little bit safe here and go for the war hut in the base. Maybe just because of raids as well, just to keep his vills safe in case he does get any sort of Huss raid from the British opponent here. So the first card is going to be straight away with military. It's going to be the 7 Seaton Bowman, or the Chetan Bowman, however you want to call it. And then straight after that, we're going to be seeing the 4 Axe Riders. So we're immediately going in with infantry here. We are not going for any sort of resources just yet. 2 infantry or military unit shipments are going to be underway, and they're going to be going straight to the enemy base. And we are going to maintain our villager production and just keep a nice tight sort of wood and food macro. And you can see here, if you are going for another hunt, make sure that you build another TP to get that nice percentage boost from them. Something interesting that Lucas does here is he actually goes for the caravan trade, which is the stagecoach. You can see that he tried to go for it and then chose not to. So I think there's many things that you can do here. We must remember that Lucas is playing on a map here that is not ideal. It's only got 2 trade posts. So there could be an alternative to this build order where instead you go for a 700 wood rather than 2 military units first. You go 700 wood and you basically take the entire TP line and you upgrade to stagecoach as well. So that is a alternative option for this strategy. But of course, Lucas here is going for further infantry units with the 6 Club Warrior shipment. One thing that I must stress to you guys is maintain villager and military unit production. It's incredibly important because as you're rushing, you want to try to gain the eco advantage as well as the military advantage. And by putting pressure on your opponent, you may be forcing them off of hunts, gold mines, wood. And of course, whilst you're creating villages, it may be delaying them and denying them of further economic gain. So that's what it's all about. You can see here Lucas trying to deny the forward base here with the outpost and the barracks, and he is going to be successful. Okay, the next card Lucas is going to be going for is another unit shipment. It's the 2 Takala soldiers. So you can see here that he's basically gone for 4 military unit shipments straight off the bat in age 2, so heavily invested in that rush, and he's pretty much destroyed all of the forward base, and he's going to be moving forward into the main base very shortly. And you can see that he is now training Club Warriors. What I suggest to you guys is try and keep a good mix of Chetan Bowmen and Club Warriors. It all depends on the enemy you're playing against, whether you're more cav than infantry or more infantry than cav. Depends on the mix of Chetan Bowmen to the Club Warriors. So the next card that has just arrived is the 2 Takala soldiers, a lance carrying cavalry unit that is very, very effective against pretty much all infantry, and that is going to be rolling up to the enemy base here. And you can see we're met with some walls and some longbow, but the Clubman Warriors have extremely high siege, something to bear in mind. You can see here Club Warrior 30 siege attack. Something to bear in mind as well. Don't always think as the Club Warrior is the answer to cavalry. Think about them as also an answer to sieging buildings. So if you're dealing with maybe turtle civs such as the Dutch, maybe the Brits here as well with walls, Club Warriors can be really effective. And you can see here the Chetan Bowmen just trying to rain down on the villagers there, nabbing maybe 2, 3, maybe more there, getting some good value and making sure just to take the right kind of fight. You know, if you see a militiaman pop, just make sure to back off. Sometimes you don't always have to take the fight. Wait for that HP to decay over time and then push in. You can see the militiamen are losing HP over time. And then this is where we go into the main part of the skirmish here. Pushing in, Club Warriors doing a good amount of melee damage, surprisingly. Wiping out the militiamen and then moving back forward again for some more damage. And I've got to say, this kind of strategy is just an unrelenting wave. It's an unrelenting wave. You've got to keep the tempo, keep it going. We can see here that still we've had villagers. We now have Chetan Bowmen still in queue. And there is actually a card available to Lucas here that he hasn't actually picked yet. So he hasn't noticed this. He's probably quite involved in this fight here. You can see all of these villagers. He's going to be trying to pick off as many as he can. Club Warriors coming in. Chetan Bowmen also raining down as well. Now, Lucas's next card here is going to be the Great Hunter. Now, this has recently been changed with the patch, and what it means is it actually gives 20% food from hunted animals. It also increases the yield as well, and it grants you back a maximum of 1,500 food. So you can see here at the moment, he's got 655 food available to him. So that will go straight into his resources when it comes through. You'll see as it's coming through now, that's going to go straight into his bank, which means that he can reassign his macro. So always check back to your macro. Is it working to what you're creating? And you can see now that he's got way more on wood at the moment because he's got the influx of food, and he is just producing Chetan Bowmen. The next card is going to be 700 wood. So now we're starting to improve a little bit on the economy. We've had our tempo with our military unit shipments. We've tried to do as much damage as possible, nabbing those vills, destroying the forward base, and trying to take out the majority of the opposing army. Now it's time to work on our economy a bit. We've got that Great Hunter in. We're now getting the 700 wood in. And if this was a map that had 4 TPs, the 700 wood here would be even more useful. You could start to build on the TP line now if you wanted to. I imagine that this 700 wood is going to be for maybe a corral, which is the stables, and for some further market upgrades, perhaps. Now, the 700 wood has come in, and by the look at the macro, I mean, 700 wood, is it really needed at the moment? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe this wasn't the best option to go for Lucas right now, given the type of map. But he's gone for it anyway. Another option, you can see he's now going for the caravan trade, which is the stagecoach upgrade. Another option could be to go for 700 gold and potentially think about an age up. That could be an option. Don't always think you have to stay in age 2 for the entirety. Going for that 700 coin with the momentum that you have could mean that you could get a nice age up off the back of your rush. You can now see that Lucas has managed to get himself to age 3. So he's managed to also ship his 700 coin. That's allowed him to get the age up of the wise woman. He's gone ahead and built himself a corral, as I mentioned, and now he's starting to switch the macro over to a food gold composition, most likely for the Wakina rifle and potential rifle rider combination as well. So ladies and gents, we're going to leave that there. I don't want to go through this entire game. It was quite a long game, and you know, there is a shock at the end of this. Lucas didn't win. It was just kind of a war of attrition. And I think he also had to go as well. And he just couldn't be bothered to continue the game further into the real late game. However, I know you're probably thinking, well, what's the point in me trying this? Guys, I must stress, you've got to give this a go. It is insanely, insanely strong. And I like this style of opening. Instead of going for the fast age opening, we're going for the slower one. More of that eco behind us and infrastructure to enable us to survive longer into the game, with a potential option to go age 3 with the 700 coin, or to also build upon the TP line, stagecoach, all that good stuff. So make sure to let me know down in the comments below what you think about this build order. Have you played against it? Is it ridiculously OP? Does it need to change? Because guys, I think personally, I think this kind of probably does need to change a little bit. It is kind of insane, the amount of economy and the tempo that you get, especially the fact that you now get 200 wood at the startup. It means you can get that TP instantly, and also the other TP as well to help with your economy. So if you found this useful, entertaining, quick, short and snappy, all that good stuff, please feel free to let me know with a nice like, and I'll catch you in the next video or the next stream. Catch you later, guys. Bye.